Thank you in advance for listening to some important information that Staples wants to share with you and every other associate around the country. We feel it's important for you to be fully aware of Staples' philosophy about unions and about some potential changes to the law that could impact you if you were ever approached by a union organizer. This video was created when there was legislation being considered by Congress called the Employee Free Choice Act. If this legislation had become law, one of the many changes that could have resulted is that you would have lost your right to vote in a secret ballot union election. Under that proposed law, if a union was able to convince a majority of people in a facility to sign union authorization cards, everyone in the entire facility would automatically become represented by a union, even though no one had the chance to vote for or against the union in an election. As you know, unionized employees may have to pay union dues or fees. While the Employee Free Choice Act did not pass as it was originally proposed, some members of Congress continued to attempt to get variations of it passed. What the final legislation will look like, no one knows. What we do know is that it is important to provide you with some useful information about unions and how they often operate. This video will provide you with some examples of how union organizers may approach you and some of the tactics they might use in order to convince you to sign a union authorization card, which is a legally binding document. We want you to have all the facts so you can make informed decisions. We realize some of our associates have been in unions or have family members in unions, and we respect that. However, we do not believe unions are necessary here at Staples. We prefer to deal with our associates directly without a third party involved. We feel our associates are able to work with us to create the best working environment possible. Despite all of this, union organizers might try to convince you someday that you need a union to speak for you. We want to give you some information that will help you understand the power you already have and why we feel unions are not necessary at Staples. So let's take a few minutes to watch the video.
There you go.
Thank you.
Glad I could help. That's one of the things I love about this job, the way Staples Associates can make it easier for our customers. We've really pulled together to take care of our customers and each other. It's not just a place to get a paycheck. This place is special to us. It's special because of the people, and we all work here for different reasons. Some, like me, just want a part-time job. Some want a full-time job, and some want to get promoted and go on to a long career with Staples. It's kind of amazing when you think about it. I mean, all these different people working different jobs, all working together to make a difference for our customers, ourselves, and our families. For me, Staples really is a great place to work. As the world's largest office products company, our associates know that they can count on Staples for challenging work in a fun, positive work environment. Today, Staples serves individual and corporate customers in dozens of countries throughout the world. We're a dynamic, growing company, and a growing company is good for everyone. We'll always need exceptional associates like you to keep our momentum going strong. Staples' success really makes me feel good about my job and my future. I mean, Staples is a great company. We have team care values, which are the principles we use to make sure we're caring for our customers and each other every day. We also support Staples Soul, our company's commitment to corporate responsibility. And it makes me feel good to work for a company like that, a strong company that believes in working ethically and honestly, a company that appreciates its associates and is committed to being a good corporate citizen. Working with Staples makes me feel like I'm a part of something positive. And you know what? I'm not the only one.
It's true. I feel good about working with Staples too. And that's just the beginning of the great things you'll find at our company. You know, it doesn't matter where you work, whether it's a Staples store, one of our warehouses, or at a delivery operation like me. You're part of something special, the Staples team. But there are some organizations that don't want us to succeed unless they can profit from our hard work. In recent years, union organizers have spent time, effort, and money trying to convince workers like Staples Associates to join a union. Unions are big businesses that make almost all of their money from the monthly dues, initiation fees, and assessments they charge their members. Because union membership has dropped over the years to less than 7.5% of non-government employees, unions are fighting to survive, and they want your money. More members add up to more money for a union, and as the largest office products company in the world, Staples can be seen as a pretty tempting target for union organizing campaigns. That's why, as a Staples associate, well, there's a good chance at some point in your career you'll be approached by a union organizer, and you need to be prepared if they do. The fact is, in spite of their efforts, unions haven't had much luck in convincing American workers to join their ranks. You'd think when people turn them down like that, the unions might think twice about trying to unionize, but I guess the idea of lots of workers paying dues money is just too much of a temptation for the unions. So now, they're trying a different approach. Instead of trying to convince American workers like you and me to join a union, big labor unions are apparently now spending hundreds of millions of dollars to change the law. The new law would make it easier for them to form a union by taking away a worker's right to vote on whether or not they want a union. For more than 50 years, employees have had the right to vote in a secret ballot election to decide if they want a union in their workplace. Secret ballot elections allow employees to listen to both sides, get all the facts, and vote for what's best for them without being pressured into voting any certain way. To me, that's the fair way to do things. After all, that's the way we've elected presidents for years. But now get this, here's the crazy part. The proposed legislation that would take away your right to a secret ballot election is called the Employee Free Choice Act. Now I want to know, where's the choice if I can't vote? And what's free about paying dues to a union I didn't choose? Look, Staples associates are used to having a voice in their workplace. Our company has always supported an open-door policy, and we're used to having our voices heard. Unions are trying to take away our vote and our voice, and for a vocal Staples associate like me, that just doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right to me either. Look, I was a union member at my last job. Everyone had to join or pay the union to be able to work there. The thing I remember most about the union is that they took lots of dues money out of my paycheck before I ever saw it, just like taxes. The other thing I remember is the union representative didn't know my name or anything about me or my goals. Here at Staples, you can get ahead based on your own performance. It's one of the main reasons I chose this company. Staples has always treated me fairly, and that's the kind of organization I want to be associated with, not a union. Union ethics are a whole different story. It's no secret that labor unions as a whole have earned a pretty bad reputation over the years. High-profile corruption charges, devastating financial mismanagement, connections to organized crime, FBI investigations, violent strikes, election scandals. One union's even watched 3 of their presidents serve jail time for their actions. And while not all unions are guilty of this kind of behavior, there does seem to be a common thread of questionable conduct that's shared by many of these organizations. You have to ask yourself if that's the kind of organization you want representing you. I mean, when you join a union, you're actually hiring that union to perform a service for you. You're hiring them to speak to management for you. It's a business transaction. And I don't know about you, but I think twice about going into business with them. As a business transaction too, you've got to ask yourself whether or not the services a union provides will actually be worth the money they want you to pay them every month. All a union can do for you is to sit down at a table with the company and ask them for the things they promised you. That's all, just ask. The company must bargain in good faith, but it also has a legal right to say no to any union demand that it feels isn't in the best interest of the company or its associates. As a result of this bargaining, you could end up with more, the same, or even less. And where does Staples stand on all of this? Our philosophy is simple, not anti-union, but pro-associate. Our company doesn't criticize people who belong to labor unions. Some of our associates have belonged to unions in former jobs. At some companies, the employees have no choice and have to pay or belong to a union to work there. Bottom line, at Staples, we don't think that associates should have to pay some third party to have a voice in their own workplaces. Here you'll always be encouraged to speak freely with your managers and find solutions by working together as a team.
I look at it this way. With what we have here, I'm not willing to trade it for
Your managers and find solutions by working together as a team.
I look at it this way. With what we have here, I'm not willing to trade it for a union that doesn't know anything about me or what I want for my future. Today, if I have an idea or concern, I speak directly with my supervisor. I'm in control of my own future and career. But if you hire a union to speak for you, you might have to go through a third party to have those kind of conversations.
When a union begins a campaign, union organizers ask associates to sign authorization cards or petitions. Now, they might say signing your name and address on one of their cards or petitions doesn't mean much. Well, they might even say that it's just a simple way for you to get more information about the union. Don't be fooled. Your signature is very valuable. Remember, every signature is a money-making opportunity for that particular union. And it's not hard to imagine how far a union organizer might go to get you to sign their card.
He's right. Your signature on an authorization card or petition is actually a legal document that can be used to bring in a union. If a union gets enough signatures, you may never even have a chance to vote. What your signature really means is that you give the union the right to act for you and make decisions for you on workplace issues, whether you agree with them or not. You may also be agreeing to pay them dues and fees, and once you give them your signature, you may never be able to get it back if you change your mind. Staples can't tell you what to do. Whether you give someone your signature is always your decision to make, but you need to know how serious it is, and how you decide to use it could impact other associates.
It's hard to think that one little signature can be so important, but in today's world, your signature means a lot. To be honest, I don't like handing my signature over to anyone, much less to a union that can't guarantee me anything. My signature is too valuable for that, and so is yours. We've got a great thing going here. Staples is a great place to work, a place where your voice will always be heard. It's important to remember signing a union card isn't just about you. This kind of decision can affect all the people who work here, people like me.
And me.
And me.
We've all found a home with Staples, and we're glad that you're a part of the team. We hope that you never have to deal with a union organizing drive in your facility, but if you do, we hope we've given you the information you need to stay in control of your valuable signature, your money, and your career.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and listen to this information. It's important that you know the facts in case you are ever faced with this type of situation so that you can make an informed decision. If you ever have any questions about this or about anything in general, feel free to speak with a member of your management team or someone in Human Resources. Here at Staples, we have an open door policy that lets you bring any concerns or questions to any supervisor, manager, or HR at any time. We urge you to take full advantage of this policy as it helps us to ensure that Staples is a great place to work.